What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, bringing you something different today. I always bring you meals, but I never bring you breakfast meals. So today, I'm bringing you a breakfast meal, and one that anyone can do. And this is going to be great for either like college kids or like people just getting their start and you don't really know much about cooking and how to feed yourselves, or even if you're 75 freaking years old and you don't know your way around the kitchen. I'm going to show you something very basic, very simple. I'm starting out with some breakfast sausage, and I went with some turkey sausage. Not so bad. They were on sale. Dirt cheap. Oh, why not? I don't care if they're turkey. So basically, all I did, I'm going to bring you with me, is I took some nice lean turkey sausage and I threw it in a skillet on low heat, and I'm just spinning them around and cooking them and getting them cooked nice and thorough, right? I want to get them cooked at least 90%, 95%, because what I'm going to do with it after that isn't going to take very long. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to cook these up. And it is turkey, so you have to watch out for salmonella, so make sure you cook them all the way through, right? Once they're just about cooked, I'm going to cut them into little tiny bite-sized pieces. Then I'm going to take a couple of eggs, crack it in, and throw it right over there. First, I'll throw some more butter down, but I'm going to crack some eggs in there. I'm going to put the eggs over the sausage, and then I'm going to take a little bit of milk, and I'm going to pour that in there, and then I'm going to start to let it cook together and let it harden. And then keep mixing until I end up with a turkey scrambled egg type thing, turkey sausage scrambled egg. And that's it, guys. You don't have to be a kitchen genius to be able to make breakfast sausage, first of all, because it's one of the easiest things you can make. And if you can't make an egg, guys, we're human beings. We come from eggs. Isn't that how that whole process works? The lady lays an egg and then sits on it for a little while and a baby's made? I think that's how it works. But that's it. So all you need is a few sausages. You're going to need a couple eggs. You're going to need a little bit of butter and a little bit of milk. That's it. You want to add pepper. You want to use syrup at the end. That's what I like it. That's it, guys. And you get a high protein meal. If you use lean turkey, then you're going to have low fat. So that's good. And I'm at that point right now where, let's see if I can start to, if you can cut them with a fork without it getting smushy, then they're pretty much ready to cut. That's the best way to tell. So you can see that the inside is still pretty raw. So because it's smushed a little bit, I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer. And all you're going to do to cook these is put them on the flame and then spin it with a fork. That's it. If that's not easy enough, that's as simple as they go. So that's it. We are on the way to making a super breakfast meal that's going to be delicious and nutritious, mostly. All right, so that's it. Let me press pause. I'm just going to let these cook a little bit through. Okay, so I got to the point where I can now start breaking them with the fork, and I'll show you what I mean, where they're not going to get all smushy. So let's see, I got this guy right here. You guys can see that? Look at this. See how this one is already smushed, so it's kind of a bad example, but let's see. You can see how it's not all raw in the middle. Get off the fork. So now I can take it and easily break it away. And you see the size I'm making these pieces. That's it. They're just a ½ inch little sausage chunks. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that to the rest of them. I'm just going to cut them all up into little tiny pieces, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here we are. We come to a new point. I got them all diced up. They're looking good. I threw a little bit of butter in there. So now what I want to do is just pick up my skillet and just kind of do this. Just rotate it. You can use a fork. I know that this kind of thing is suited for, like, a lot of college students are going to love this kind of meal because it's so simple. And they say that, you know, you rate who's educated by who's in college or who has more college experience. That apparently some people say means you're more educated. However, I've seen hillbillies who have made a wind turbine, a wind turbine out of trash. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can tell me that being in college makes you somebody educated all day long, and I'm going to tell you that you obviously are not educated if that's how you think, because I know college students who could barely make a bowl of cereal. This, even a college student can do. It's that simple. So, this is what we have going here. Bada boom, bada bing. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack a few eggs, throw them right in on top of all this, and then add a little bit of milk, and then cook and mix, cook and mix, cook and mix. That's all it is, guys. That's simple. All right, so I got 3 eggs, and that's what I'm going to use on this one. I'm going to use 3 eggs. You could make it as eggy or as little eggs as you want. I'm just using 3. I'm going to crack them open. I'm going to pour them right on over the sausage. And that's it for that. Bada boom, bada bing. 3 eggs. So now I'm going to take an unmeasured amount of milk because it doesn't really matter to me. And I'm just going to add a little bit in there. Not too much. I'll put that in the fridge because, milk out of the fridge is very good. So now I'm going to start by putting my fork inside the center of the yolk and going in circles to break up the yolk completely before I start mixing everything together. And then I'm going to mix the egg with the milk. Doesn't really matter how much of the sausage gets mixed in at this point. What I just want to do is mix it all together so you're not seeing plain white milk or plain yellow, plain white milk or plain yellow yolk. So I'm just pushing it all together. Mixing it, mixing it, mixing it. So that's what I'm left with right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the egg cook for a few seconds. And as it starts to solidify in certain areas, then I know it's time to keep on mixing. And I'm going to do that until the egg is completely cooked. And that's pretty easy to tell. It's going to look fluffy and beautiful. So that's at that point right now. The only other thing I'm going to add to this while cooking is a little bit more butter, and I might do a dash of pepper. You know what I mean? So let's check it out. Actually, I'm going to do a dash. I somehow turned you guys off. I'm going to add a dash of pepper and go from there. So just 1, 2, 3 little turns of my ground pepper, and then I'm going to mix it in. And I can see that the egg is starting to cook really nicely. So now I'm going to get that pepper mixed in there, give it a really nice peppery hint on that flavor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from a fork as it starts to get cooked a little bit. I'm going to go from a fork to a rubber spatula. I'll show you as long as I can find it, because we never seem to put things in the same drawer. So where it's supposed to be, it's always in a different one. I'm going to take this guy right here because I want to be able to get into all the corners and scoop around it and mix it really, really well. And so far, so good. I could have even went with 4 eggs because I had so much sausage, but either way, it's just going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So you can see that because the egg is cooking, it's not all over the edges anymore. You know what I mean? I can mix it and start to form it to where I want it to be. You see that? So I can push it in any direction I want. It's going to cook and it's going to start to get a little thicker, and that's what I want for my scramblization over here. All right, let me put you guys. Actually, I'm going to press pause right now and then come back to you. I'm at a point now where my eggs are cooking up pretty thoroughly, right? You can see that they're not running all over the place anymore. Now remember, because I did cook it with the sausage, it's a little dark, so don't freak out and think that you messed up. It does take a while to get it to solidify, and it doesn't look like a scrambled egg. So if you're thinking you're going to get this bright yellow scrambled egg, don't worry when it looks mushy, because that's exactly what it's supposed to look like. What I'm going to do is, because I cooked this whole thing in just one pan, that's all it took, I'm going to take a tortilla. I have some what do you call it? Gluten-free flour tortillas instead of corn. And I'm going to actually make breakfast burritos out of this. You don't need to. You can just stick this in a bowl and eat it right away, right as it is. But I want to do breakfast burrito style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my tortilla. I'm going to lay it over the top of this, not press it in, but just because I want to heat the tortilla to make it soft, then I'll flip the tortilla, and that's what I'll use, obviously, for my my burrito. I'm trying to pick up this little piece of egg here, and I'm having a hard time getting it on this stupid rubber spoon, but you could see, that looks like scrambled egg, just darker. And that's exactly what I made here, is all in one pot, one pan. I just took sausage, egg, and milk. I added a little bit of pepper and some butter, and I made a great little breakfast meal. And this is going to be even better as a filling for a breakfast burrito. But you don't need it to be breakfast burrito. You can just stick that in a bowl and eat it as it is. This looks like it's pretty much done. The egg looks cooked. The sausage is obviously cooked. Let's see if I can get one of these up here. Let's see. Ooh, that's delicious. Ooh, that's actually really good. So that's it. I'm going to let my eggs cook for about another minute. I'm going to stick my tortilla over the top, and then I'll show you how to roll a breakfast burrito real quick. All right. So hold on now. All right. So this is what I use for my my tortillas. It's just a Mission gluten-free tortilla. It's a flour tortilla. And the thing is, with these, they're better for you than regular flour tortillas. And of all the gluten things I've had, this is the only one I've had that you can't tell the difference between a non-gluten and a gluten tortilla. So this is all I'm doing. I'm laying it across there. And what's going to happen is the heat is going to just soften my tortilla. I'm not cooking it. I'm not baking. I'm not doing anything like that. These are pre-cooked, but they're just not great if you don't warm them up. And that's all I'm doing is warming it up. So once that's warm on both sides, it gets a little softer. I'm going to throw it on a plate, which I have right here. Ooh-wee. That's a good thing. It's a good thing when I wash the dishes, I don't put my plates away because I have one ready to go. So let me knock off some of the water that's on there. Now I have a warm tortilla. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to stick it right on my plate. And now I'll show you. Oh yeah. Show you how this is going to work. I'm going to take some of my scrambled sausage egg concoction. Let me mix it around a little bit. And I'm going to put it right on top of my burrito. Right on top of my tortilla. It's not a burrito yet until you roll it. Right now it's just a tortilla with a bunch of crap on it. So remember, you don't want to overfill it because then you're not going to be able to roll it. So that's about it right there. I'm going to turn the heat off of the pan. And now I have a bunch of stuff in the tortilla. And so what I want to do is I want to pull it over, tuck it, and then I'm going to fold the end, fold the other end, and I'm going to roll it. And just like that, you have a breakfast burrito. See how simple that is? Now I can eat it just like that. I can put a little syrup on a plate, dip it in syrup. I can do anything I want. But that right there is going to be mighty, mighty good. And I even made enough for my friends. So I am going to go ahead and enjoy this one-pan breakfast burrito. I'm going to have my breakfast. And then I'm going to go shopping or something stupid. And I do have a movie to hit. So I'm going to be going today. But ta-da! I'm Donnie B all day. Till next video.